So in today's training, I'm going to be going over 5 things that you can start working on if you want to change your situation, if you want to go from broke to a millionaire to owning a business that makes over $1 million per year. I'll be giving you guys a quick backstory on how I did it. So what was my journey, what was my path, and what are the 5 things that I had to really focus on learning. So the 5 skills, they're not really skills, but they're 5 aspects that had to be taught and learned by myself or with the help of other people, of course, to today owning a business that does pretty well. Okay, so for those that don't know, I used to be a full-time engineering student. As you can see, this was me having lots of fun doing the project. I think it was like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. I was with my girlfriend and we were trying to finish a project that was due for the next day, and we had to specifically use the computers from class to use a special software in engineering or whatever. So that was fun. So as you can see, I'm having lots of fun. And then here we had like a bunch of projects, and I think I was making a cupcake mold out of whatever we're trying. I don't know how to say it in English, but it was a fun experience. All right. So I used to be essentially a full-time college student, and while I was in college, I had, like, after this summer, so this right here, this picture I remember, I had to take an internship and I had to work in a engineering field. I did get an internship. It was at a bus production company. All right. So they would produce city buses, and I was supposed to be an engineer on that team. And that was going to be my first internship. Instead of doing that, which was what I was supposed to do, I deep down knew I didn't want to become an engineer. I wanted to do something that would allow me to have the freedom, start my own business, and make a bunch of money. And I, for whatever reason, knew that sales was something that was going to be extremely important for me. All right. So what I did is, well, actually, while I was in college, I ended up like looking at a flyer for a door-to-door knocking company. So instead of going to that summer internship, what I did is I basically went all in and skipped that and did a door knocking job instead. So as you can see, I had my little badge all cute inside Canada. So that was the company we were selling pest control for, with my jeans that were a bit too tight for me. And here we had like training. I think this was like pancake day, which is why you see the pancakes. But essentially, this was my first introduction to changing the direction of my life. Okay, changing the course of what I was going to be doing with my life, because this was abnormal. This was not what everyone in my classes were doing. Everyone was going to these typical jobs, engineering positions, and I was the only crazy one that decided to do door knocking, which was commission based only. You would door knock 6 days a week and selling pest control, knocking at people's homes. So people definitely looked at me like I was a bit crazy, like I didn't know what I was doing and I was kind of lost in life. But deep down, I felt like this was what was required for me to progress and get to the next level of my life, which was learning how to sell. So fast track, finished the summer, did pretty good. And I ended up starting my own business, which was a window cleaning business. I didn't take a picture of myself, unfortunately, but these were the people that I was working with. And if you can recognize, which is why I like to have this picture, this is my friend Austin. We ended up doing the business together. We were not broke, but we didn't have that much money. Okay, like we did make pretty good money from the summer, but commissions were coming in, so we didn't get our full commissions yet. So we used the same shirts. You can probably, I don't know if you can tell, but the shirts are exactly the same for our window cleaning company, and that made us look more professional. So this was our attempt of starting like a window cleaning business. We did it for like a month or a few weeks, just to make some extra money during the end of the season. And this is the same person. So Austin's right here, and then you can see Austin is right here. So he was my friend, and we ended up starting the business together. So I went to college, I learned how to sell, and then I started my own very first business, which was now selling door-to-door window cleaning services. But this time I was doing the fulfillment for it. So the cleaning, as you can see, where I had people helping me with that. And yeah, fast track to that. After I finished that, I wanted to start my own agency. So here I took a picture, I think last month, May 18th. This was my desk. So this was like a picnic table that I bought. And I took a piece of paper, wrote 10K a month, stuck it on my wall. And then every day when I would work, I would basically be faced with my goal, my dream, my aspirations, what I wanted to achieve. And all of my books I was learning, I was reading like crazy. And after a few months, I did manage to scale my business. As you can see, started with nothing, eventually creeped up, signed multiple clients, and I ended up with a business that was making me $18,000 per month. So I was pretty happy with that. And then from there, of course, lots of things happened. If you guys want the full story, feel free to go on my Instagram. But essentially now I have both the agency and the coaching business. I have an amazing team that's with me now, so I'm no longer like working by myself. I bought a pretty nice car, nice AMG, getting nice deposits. I got a new apartment in the city, Montreal, which I'm not moved in yet, but this will be in 2 weeks. And of course, I have a business that makes over $1 million, and we're sending out invoices of $5,000, $3,000, high ticket amounts that we're collecting, which were amounts that I didn't put a picture here, but I used to work at Costco, and I used to make like $800, $900 every 2 weeks. So now to be collecting payments like that, that's crazy to think. But anyways, all that to say is that I started as a college student. Okay, I had no money. I was just full-time going at school, and I didn't really have any good skill sets. Like, yes, I was learning engineering, but in the online money-making world, learning engineering and crazy maths and all of these concepts isn't that useful at the beginning. Okay, I'm sure if I would have, pursued a career in it, like eventually I would have done something, but for the time being, I didn't have any useful skills that I could directly apply and make money. So I had to learn these skills. Okay, and these are the 5 skills that I had to learn. Now, in order to learn these 5 skills, you have to realize that a change in your current situation has to be made. Something drastic has to change. Okay, it might be not even a change, but maybe just eliminating a bad habit. Okay, something has to change, because obviously if the person that you are today was capable of making $1 million, they would have made $1 million. And the reason why you're not at that point is because that person that you are right now is not capable of doing it yet. So something has to change. Okay, obviously the things that you've been doing right now have not been bringing you to your goals of wanting to make money. For me, my current change situation, which is why I wanted to give you guys a short introduction, had I just continued the normal path, which is going to college, finishing my degree, and then going to my internship, and then graduating, getting a job, working full time, I probably would not be at the income level that I am today. Okay, because I didn't have the right mindset, the right skill sets to achieve this goal right here. If my goal wasn't to make $1 million and just to have a stable job and a pretty good career in engineering, then yeah, 100% this would be good. But this was not what I wanted. And I'm assuming if you're watching this video, this is not what you want as well. So something had to change in my life. And for me, the first leap of faith that I had to take was getting this door knocking job, as stupid as it might sound. Everyone, my friends, my girlfriend, my parents, everyone told me I was crazy. Everyone's like, what the hell are you doing? Like, why are you taking this kind of like weird job where, it doesn't make any sense. Like, no one does door knocking. Is it a pyramid scheme? Is it a scam? Are you actually going to get paid? You're door knocking. It's not like a prestigious job. So I got lots of faces, lots of looks, lots of weird people like telling me like, what the hell are you doing? Like classmates and stuff. But I trusted myself, and I knew that if I wanted to be part of the 1%, I had to do what 99% of people were not willing to do. And this is one thing that I had to do, which is door knocking. And trust me, go door knock 100 people right now in your neighborhood, and you're going to see how stressful it is for the very first time when you do it. I was so scared of doing this at the very beginning. But again, I knew that the Oliver that can make $1 million per year, he would not be scared to door knock. He would go after everyone and try to sell them and make his commissions. So again, I wasn't, even when I started this job, not the right person to make $1 million. But by the end of it, I had learned one of the skills. Anyways, something has to change in your life, okay? Maybe you go to college as well, maybe you work, maybe you just have horrible habits, you go out every weekend, maybe you do drugs, smoke weed or whatever, drink alcohol. It can really be anything, but something has to change, and you have to realize that. Okay, this will not be easy, and you will most likely give up. All right, but the important part is that if you do end up giving up, just pick it back up and restart. Okay, so basically you're not giving up, but just keep doing it until you see the results that you want. You know, despite what's happening in your life, even if nothing's going according to plan, you do not stop until it does. What I had to do is learn these 5 skills. All right, I'm going to be breaking down a bit more exactly what I did and what I would do if I were in your shoes. Okay, so there's 5 things here, and as you can see, I had these little squares to tell you guys what I would do. Now, the goal is to make $1 million per year. All right, $1 million per year, if we break it down, is $83,000 per month. So you need to be able to generate $83,000 every single month. Now, if you're just starting out and you don't even have a business, this number is crazy. This is huge. Okay, most people don't even make this in a year. And I know that if my goal from day one was to make $83K per month, it would be a bit too overwhelming for me. I'd be like, how the hell am I going to do this? So what I tell people, even though your goal is to make $1 million or even more, even like to this day, I have a specific goal that I'm trying to do, and I have to downplay it a bit. Otherwise it becomes a bit too overwhelming, at least for me. That's how I am. Okay, so what I did when I started out was 100K per year. Okay, which is 8K per month. Okay, so you go from this, which is, how much did we say, 83K per month, more or less, to now your goal is 8.3K. Okay, and you might say to yourself, Oliver, it's good to plan for the future. Like if you want to make $1 million from day one, you have to have the plan around $1 million per year, which I agree. It's kind of true. But if you're just starting out, you don't have the skill sets required to make 83K per month. Okay, I didn't, which is why I had to downplay my goals and focus on micro steps. Even though I knew what I was doing wasn't going to be the long-term play, is I had to go through that phase in order to get to this phase right here. And for me, again, which is why I made this whole little biography of myself, it was this right here. Was in college, nothing was happening with my life. I wasn't working towards my goals. I took a big leap of faith, which is instead of taking my internship, which by the way, you need the internship to graduate from my school, I did my door knocking job. So that was the first leap of faith. And then from there, with the extra time that I had at the end of the season, instead of just sitting on my ass and not doing anything and waiting for school to start again or whatever, I decided to start my own business for the very first time. Now, did I believe that my window cleaning business was going to bring me to $1 million per year? No. Could I have done it? Maybe, within a couple of years, but it's not the best vehicle. It's not what I wanted to do. But I knew this was a stepping stone towards the life that I wanted. That is starting a business, becoming an entrepreneur. This was my first entrepreneurial journey. And it worked. We were making money. I wasn't a millionaire, but I was making money. And what that did is it proved to me that, hey, if I can go from zero to a business that I wasn't making 10K, but let's say 5K per month, I can go even further. And that's why I pushed my goal to now do something that's a bit more leverage, which was the agency model. All right, but had I not learned how to sell and put myself out there and started a business that kind of worked and said to myself like, wow, I built a business that makes 5K a month and I did this all by myself. I'm like, why not? Like, why can't I do something that's a bit bigger and make $18,000 per month instead and push it even further? And then of course, when I reached this point, I'm like, why can I not push it even further to now making over $1 million? Okay, so it's micro steps. Which is why instead of focusing on 83K per month, let's focus on 8K per month. Okay, how can I make, let's say 10K per month? That's why everyone says 10K a month. Now, in order to be someone who can make 8.3K per month, let's say 10K per month for the sake of this video, you need to learn these 5 things right here. You have to be able to come up with an offer. So if we use my window cleaning business as an example, I can draw this out right here for you guys. What is my offer? Is that I sell window cleaning. We used to charge like anywhere from $200 to $400 for the entire house. My client acquisition, how did I get clients? I used to door knock. So cold traffic. Sales, of course, I would sell in person by door knocking. Onboarding was pretty simple and fulfillment was simple too. I had all the equipment and the people on my team to help me with that. All right. So The trick, I kind of give you guys a breakdown, but the trick is to come up with offers and everything that can support your goal. Obviously, an offer that can make you 8.3K per month cannot necessarily make you 83K per month. Okay, some business models are just harder to scale. And I don't want to say impossible, because you can scale anything, but it's just you're playing life on the hard mode. You might as well pick easy mode, you know? Like, why pick a difficult game to win at? So my types of offers that I enjoy are high ticket. So anywhere from like 1 to, let's say, 5K, okay? Depends what you do. Let's say 1 to 5K. So you want to be selling something like that. You want it to be service-based. Okay, I don't want you to be selling a product. Okay, don't sell shampoo or cookies or whatever, because you need inventory, you need things. It requires lots of money up front. And again, we're starting this video with the concept that we're broke, we're in college, we're working a typical job, we're just starting out. Service-based, what's fun is that you don't necessarily need money to start. My window cleaning business, all it costed me was the stick to clean the windows, which was like $100. What it costed was my time, as I needed to physically clean everything. I couldn't just give them the broom. I wasn't selling the broom to them. I was doing the work for them. So I needed the broom. Okay, yes, you can outsource it with people, which is what I did, which is what I'm going to recommend you guys to do as well. But service-based, the fun part is that you don't need that much money upfront. You just need the knowledge. You need to understand how to do it. Okay, so find a service base. My go-to for everyone is you help people with client, let's say, growth. Okay, you help businesses, you help people grow in whatever they want, whether it be financially, whether it be with their relationships, whatever is their health goals, their health achievements, what they want to achieve. You help these people grow and reach the next level of whatever they're trying to achieve. For me, my go-to is like the agency model, of course. So agency, and you selling like marketing services. Okay, that's how I started. We can put, let's say, Facebook, Google Ads. It can be cold outreach too. There's lots of things you can do. I made a whole video on this, by the way, like on what you can actually sell to make, justify 3-4K per month for your services. So you want something that's high ticket, a service-based business. Okay, I recommend a marketing agency. That's how I started. It's been proven to work, and you're helping people make more money. Name me a time where that business model is not going to work. If I can make you an extra 10K per month, would you pay me 1,000 for that? The obvious answer is yes. So do that for other people. Very simple. And yeah, that's basically it. Okay, obviously come up with guarantees. And then also, there was one more thing I wanted to put. Market research. Okay, and being able to just research the market and see what are competitors doing and everything. Okay, so very simple. I don't know why the formatting is all weird. Okay, so essentially what you're trying to do is reach a point where your offer can make you at least 8.3K per month. That's basically it. So if you're selling a $1 thing where let's take a stupid example where you're doing something for $1, you cannot scale your way up to 8.3K. Okay, so you need an offer that can get you to this point at least. And ideally you get something that's high ticket, so let's say 2K, and you would only have to sell 4 per month to make 8K. Okay, so something that's scalable, a good service that people actually want. You have to have a good guarantee, so make sure you're actually delivering good value to your clients, and also be able to do market research to understand what do people want. Okay, and the common goal theme you're going to see in this is that everything has to get you to at least 8.3K per month. Otherwise, that becomes your bottleneck. Okay, so client acquisition, you're going to have cold outreach. So you have to learn how to cold call, which is what I did, cold email, and then cold DMs, let's say. Okay, and again, the goal is to be able to have an acquisition system that can allow you to get 8.3K per month. That was my problem with the door knocking, window cleaning business. It's like I was charging $400, let's say 300 per house. So technically, if I sold, how many houses is that for fun? I would have to do 27 homes per month. So 1 per day, more or less, which is not that crazy, to be honest. But the issue was the client acquisition. I would have to door knock to find these people. So what if I door knocked the entire day, didn't get anyone to say yes because everyone's at work or everyone's home or everyone's out, or it was just a bad day. And then at the very last minute, someone's like, yeah, you can do it. And then afterwards, I have to fulfill for it. I have to actually clean the windows. So now the next day, I'm stuck cleaning the windows instead of door knocking. So it was not a leverage way for me to do client acquisition, to get clients into my business. So I had to learn something that I could do at scale a lot quicker. So cold calling was a lot quicker than physically going to each house one by one. All I had to do is get a list of phone numbers and boom, 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 call everyone one by one. And when I did close someone, it wasn't for $300. It was actually for, 1 to 5K. So it was worth my time. Okay, so again, same thing. You need to learn client acquisition. I have an offer. I have something that I'm selling to someone. How do I get that offer in front of potential people at scale? So cold calling, cold email, cold DMs. Once you reach this point, I would learn paid ads. If you have the funds for it, I would start with paid ads. Okay. Paid ads is a skill that can get you to 83K per month. And this, same thing. Your offer that's 1 to 5K can get you to 83K per month. Okay, so some of these things when you learn are scalable at large. So if I have a good high ticket, like my window cleaning business can bring me to 8.3, but it cannot bring me to 83K. But my agency offer where I help growth, so business marketing or whatever, which I charge 1 to 5K, that can bring me to 8.3 and 83K per month. Okay, so it's always best to start with the best thing, but obviously depending on your situation, it's not always possible and it's typically harder to do at scale. So here, client acquisition, again, we're broke. We don't have a shit ton of money for ads. So what we're going to do, we use free methods. So cold calling, cold email, cold DMs, go in person, whatever, and get yourself to a position where you do have funds. And then you can leverage higher leverage activities like paid ads to acquire more clients. If I was running ads for my window cleaning business and people were just calling me through my ads and I didn't have to door knock, that would be fantastic. I wouldn't be wasting my entire days door knocking, but I didn't have the money for it. Okay, so if I were to scale it a bit quicker, that's what I would do. Okay, then sales, exactly. Learn how to sell. This is pretty easy to do. So it can be, let's say, door knocking. So this is low leverage, door knocking. I can be very good at door knocking, but I cannot close 100 deals per day if I'm door knocking. I physically cannot. But if I'm good at taking Zoom calls or whatever, that's a bit easier. Kind of, if you're able to sell higher ticket, it's kind of just learning how to sell. Okay, this is a very important skill, which is what I learned when I was door knocking. Onboarding. So this is not for every business model, but if I bring you 100 clients today to your business, can you fulfill for them? Can you onboard them into their company and get them good to go? That's basically what it means. So if tomorrow I had to clean 100 homes, 100 windows, this would be very difficult to do for me. I cannot by myself. So I need to have an onboarding system that can allow me to onboard 8.3K worth of clients. So if I charge one client 8K, I would only have to onboard one client, which is very easy to give 100% of my attention to. But if I'm selling a $300 product and I have to onboard 27 people, like we said, that can be very difficult for me to do. So you have to be good at onboarding people. But obviously when it's more expensive, it's typically more complicated. So learning how to onboard clients. And then fulfillment is obviously doing the service that you're selling to people. So you have to learn how to do that as well. So let's say learning marketing. Learn growth/marketing. Now, a low leverage thing could be you do it yourself up until 8.3K. Do it yourself. Or you can outsource from day one to professionals, people who know what they're doing. So outsource. And if you outsource, then obviously that can bring you to 83K per month, which is $1 million per month if you outsource enough and you have a big enough team. And same thing for onboarding. You can onboard yourself to 8.3K probably, but you cannot outsource. You cannot onboard yourself to 83K most of the time. You would have to outsource it. Okay, so it's all about learning activities that can leverage itself to $1 million per year business. And it might happen that you have to switch entire business model midway because you realize that you cannot scale it to $1 million, or it's very difficult. Like my window cleaning, I could have continued and probably scaled it to a good amount, but it would have been very difficult to make $1 million per year, and even beyond that, if that's what you want to do. Okay, but at the end of the day, if you're broke and you're sort of trying to understand what the hell do I need to do to make money, it's not by watching videos where they like, this is the top 5 side hustles where you can start making money. It's like, yeah, you can make money, but at its core, what does it mean to make money? What does it mean to run a business? And it's these 5 things right here. Learning how to build an offer that can get you to 100K per year or $1 million per year. So your offer has to be able to make $1 million per year. So window cleaning cannot, agency can. So that's boom, already. Start with the agency, don't start with window cleaning. Client acquisition. I need a client acquisition system that can make me $1 million and 100K. So maybe I start with cold calling because I don't have the funds for paid ads or other methods. But once I do have the money, I learn a skill that can get me to $1 million. And you do that with everything. Get offer to 100K, get client to 100K skill level, sales, onboarding, and fulfillment. And then that's how you build a business. Okay, I can have all of this perfect to like 83K per month. But let's say I'm the only one who's fulfilling and I have no one on my team to help me. Then this becomes the constraint to my business, and this will never allow me to make a bunch of money. Okay, so come up with a good offer. I give you guys examples. Learn the basics of cold outreach, so cold calling, cold email, cold DMs. Learn the basics of sales. This you will learn from experience. You can watch videos and everything, but as you take calls, you will learn, you will become better at it. Same thing with onboarding. You might have to onboard a first client, but you'll learn how to do it. Then it's how can I do it at large to get more clients? So the last thing you want to do is start a business and be like, okay, I cannot accept more clients into my business. And then same thing for fulfillment. How do I fulfill at large? So at the basics, the basic thing is to learn the basics of your fulfillment. So if it's Facebook ads, I learn the basics of Facebook ads. Then I can do it myself for my first couple of clients. But this can only bring me so far. And then what I have to do is outsource that work to people so that I can do it at scale and do it for multiple clients and get me to 83K per month. Or I can just skip it and outsource it from day one. With lots of things you can do. Okay, so I hope this was useful. I hope this puts into perspective like what are the 5 things that you should be focusing on if you're at the beginning stages and you want to learn, you want to get to a point where you're making good money and you have a successful business. You have to learn these 5 things right here. Okay, that's exactly what I did. I learned sales by door knocking, and everything else, it was just by trial and error, watching YouTube videos and everything else. Okay, so I hope this was useful. Thank you for watching, and we'll see each other in the next video. Peace.